The Secretary of the Army, Mr. McCarthy, or the Secretary of the Army, Mr. McCarthy has asked that Wally Rugen speak to us this morning, who is the FVL cross-functional team lead, and he'll brief us on behalf of the future activities. Wally, please let us get going this morning.
Well, good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, aviators, soldiers, it's great to be here. I would offer a special thanks to Bill Harris and Steve Munt for inviting me to speak today and for hosting another world-class event here at the Quad A Summit. Real special. And I too want to comment and echo on just the tremendous Hall of Fame event last night. Such a poignant event, and it really speaks to our legacy, and it's a legacy we have to protect. I want to thank the six-pack, Major General Gaylor, General Gabram, Tate, Todd, Evans, and Mr. Shipley for just the support I've received since I was announced with this job in November. So as the Director of Future Vertical Lift Cross-Functional Team, I'm excited to share with you an overview of my team and our strategic approach to modernize Army aviation to regain our vertical lift dominance. Our efforts are laser focused on creating a more capable aviation force with improved lethality, better overmatch and standoff, improved reach at speed, range, and endurance at range, survivability to operate in A2AD, improved agility on the X, more sustainable and more adaptable, so we're agile as we upgrade our platforms. The first concepts, we've kind of had to address, and it's been a fight in the building, is why Army aviation? Critics seem to state, hey, you're too big part of the budget, and when we see you aviators, you're quite expensive, and in this future battlefield may be a little bit too lethal for you, a little too contested. You can't do it, and we're seeing that your relevance is degrading, and so let's pull those budgets back. That's just hogwash, absolute hogwash. It's a central theme that we continue to hear at this, at this summit. We talk about our legacy. Last night was about our legacy. And we have an impressive legacy. And we have a sacred duty to preserve that legacy for the future force. I saw quite a few first cab patches out there yesterday. I've seen a few today. And so, although we start well before LZ X-ray, that's where I would like to start with 17 Cav. 17 Cav held off 3 NVA regiments. To quote Hal Moore, if the air had failed, the embattled men would certainly have died in much the same way George Armstrong Custer's cavalrymen died at the Battle of Little Bighorn. Cut off, surrounded, and butchered to the last man. That's what we brought then. We're going to bring it in the future. The Gulf War saw the similar dominance for our Army and Army aviation as a critical maneuver force and a critical enabler. General Cody's Apaches fired the first shots of the war and took out Iraqi early warning radars. The 101st Airborne Division Air Assault struck 155 miles behind enemy lines, and every division punched above their weight due to, in large part, aviation formations and the capabilities we brought. 100 hours to take out the 5th largest army in the world. Not bad. Not bad at all. And that's not easy. We just made it look easy. The war on terror displayed and continues to display even greater dominance, and certainly since the 1980s, special operations aviation has been and continues to be the gold standard that everyone measures himself by. Doing incredible things, some things we talk about and some things we still don't talk about. So this is our charge, because we can never lose faith with the ground force. If they are there, we're going to be there too. Potential adversaries are eroding current Army aviation overmatch and targeting us on the ground in the air, cyber, and across the electromagnetic spectrum. We're really contested in all domains. Because of this condition, the condition we face, modernization and procurement has now literally become readiness. Just read up on the lethality the Russians brought to the Ukrainians for a view or a window, and how the conditions have progressed. It's a sobering reminder of the erosion of our capability and technological superiority. It's troubling, and we have to claw our way back to vertical lift dominance. And we can't just achieve parity. We have to achieve overmatch, and then have the inherent adaptability baked into our capability process so that we can turn inside our enemies versus having them turn inside of us. Army aviation has to return to the speed of historic programs. We've become too process-driven and too risk-averse. In my opinion, we can either keep our process-driven structure or achieve the technological overmatch we require. It's literally that black and white. The future vertical lift cross-functional team has reduced our requirements and acquisition process in the few short months from 12 layers down to 3. So we haven't added a layer, we've delayered. We got to accelerate disruptive technologies into Army aviation, and we got to persist with that. My team is composed of experts from across science and technology, requirements writers from Fort Rucker, program managers from PEO Aviation, testers and evaluators, costers, analytical folks from Fort Leavenworth, planners, programmers, and budgeteers, logisticians and maintainers from AMCOM, and aviators, operators from FORCECOM, the Army National Guard, the Army Reserve, USASOC, and I'm still pulling 2 duties, so 7th Infantry Division is in there too with me. And we've recently begun coordination with international partners, so we got a great team. So getting back to 7th ID, the Bayonet Division's motto is trust in me, and it's pretty appropriate for the FVL. Figuratively, we are bringing the bayonet to capability development to slice through, process, and collapse traditional 8 to 15-year sequential scheduling requirements, funding, acquisition, and testing. And we must do it. So Army aviation can cut through an integrated air defense network and dominate a window or a corridor for the maneuver force to flow through. We used to have the pieces and parts of Army aviation capability development spread across multiple commands. The CFT has pulled that together. From managing the future threat to functional and operational concepts, to assisting acquisition, to testing, to contracting, we're getting it all done. Speed is going to be our discriminating factor. It's not just about speed of innovation, it's about speed of delivering these capabilities to the force. It's my highest priority. We have to erase any advantage any adversary or potential adversary can have. Army aviation has the innovators, we have the talent who are flexible and agile, and a lot of them are on my team. But we do not have the indulgence of more time. So this is the team that's going to burn down both technical and integration risk across every competency in the former 12-layer process and deliver what the Army and the nation need. The FEL CFT job is to anticipate combat overmatch, material solutions, and have immediate understanding into technology that can afford us a matured and integrated approach. Our vision, as I see it, is to enhance vertical lift dominance through the development of next generation capabilities and maintain our advantage in the 5 things I spoke about already: lethality, reach, protection, agility, sustainment, and adaptability. To successfully dominate in a highly contested and complex airspace against known and emerging threats. So next slide. Well, they already turned it. So our task is to deliver these disruptive technologies. On the top, you see there. And our purpose is to close our gaps. We must and will dominate in a future operating environment. To accomplish our mission, we recognize certain capability gaps that are based on the realization of potential enemies that will challenge our supremacy across multiple domains. We've met these challenges for the last 50 years. We're going to meet them in the future. But our adversaries have gone to school on us, and here's the assessment of the current operational environment. So it leads to the following facts. Army aviation dominance is contested in peer and near-peer A2 and integrated air defense environments. The Army lacks adequate tactical vertical lift capability to operate from strategic and operational distances. Army aircraft require the ability to rapidly upgrade capabilities based on threat advances. Peer and near-peer threat systems outnumber and outrange current Army capabilities. Future Army expeditionary operations will require improvements in maintenance, sustainment, and reliability. So with these facts in mind, Army aviation must address the following challenges to maintain its advantage. We must operate in highly contested and complex airspace. We must improve close combat lethality in complex and degraded environments against peer and near-peer adversaries. We must improve standoff and overmatch. We must improve human-machine interface to reduce aircrew workload. We must demonstrate mature autonomous decision-making to optionally man, that's right, I said it, optionally man all the platforms you see up there. And we must enhance reliability. You know, we're not going to bring that tail very close to these pretty lethal effects that our peer adversaries have had. So prototyping is critical to this process. Army aviation will need to shift greater funding to prototyping, and frankly, that is where we see cost-sharing dollars showing up as well. The very best aviation people across our great enterprise, and that's both military and industry, are a partnership that we can attract, I think, pretty easily to return us back to technological preeminence. And it's going to take all of us in this room in the greater enterprise to accomplish those tough goals. We must persist on this. We have immediate POM 2024 requirements. 2018 funding helped us, but what we need to do now is to make the shift to next generation investment, and our investment accounts need to shift to the future. So first, you see our lines of effort up there. The first is future unmanned aircraft systems, and that's an umbrella. It's an umbrella for purpose-built unmanned systems, the next generation or family of systems. These purpose-built systems will conduct the dangerous, dirty, and dull work forward of the FLOT. The future UAS will conduct advanced teaming with our future attack reconnaissance aircraft to build shared understanding of a very capable enemy, lower our latency to deliver effects, and be optimized for anti-access area denial. Our advanced UAS, a subset of the future UAS next-gen capabilities, will become our premier targeting and electronic attack asset for the Phase 3 fight. By surveilling, protecting, and attacking across multiple spectrums. So all four of those lines of effort up there, they're all priorities. They're not in priority order. This is an ecosystem we need to build. Next, future reconnaissance attack aircraft. Able to dominate and maneuver and execute reconnaissance, attack, and electronic warfare in a peer-near-peer conflict. This aircraft will provide close combat lethality in complex environments and be sized to hide in the radar clutter and operate in the canyons of megacities. The critical system attributes focus on increased combat radius, endurance at radius, speed, and agility while enhancing survivability. These two airframes represent the centerpiece of the IAD's breaching team. The UAS will conduct, again, that dangerous work to detect, find, and fix enemy threats and target for long-range precision fires and aviation fires. The future attack reconnaissance aircraft will ensure shared understanding across the joint force to find and fix our enemies, lower the latency again to deliver the lethality to finish them. This capable team will have the interoperability to enter and exit the fight, dominate an area or corridor, enabling the joint force to seize, retain, and exploit the initiative. Next is our future long-range assault aircraft, which is the next generation lift, assault, and medevac asset that integrates new technology, materials, and designs to increase speed, range, and payload. This aircraft will provide the expanded reach, protection, and be able to rapidly exploit windows of opportunity. It can operate from relative sanctuary and provide the operational and tactical speed and agility we require. Both manned platforms, again, will have the capability to be optionally manned. Lastly, and probably most importantly, is the modular open system approach. MOSA is our digital backbone. Think Android-like, or iOS. And it's going to be that backbone across multiple platforms that will facilitate the rapid integration of further and advanced capabilities to reduce the time it takes for us to bring these capabilities to the warfighter. This attribute allows for optionally manned assets and resilient architecture that will deepen our interoperability and quicken our path to autonomy. So all 4 lines of effort will empower future vertical lift development to outpace future threats and deliver future innovation to the warfighter through a linked and integrated process. Future vertical lift is focused on the development of these capabilities. We are persistent with them. We believe our focused lines of effort will enable a successful domination in a highly contested and complex environment. The ground force requires it, and we will never lose faith with the soldiers on the ground. Thank you to everyone. Fight tonight above the best. Trust in me. We'll see you this afternoon for questions.